Hey there, good Sunday to you. I'm meteorologist Richard Scott. The weather's been hot around here, but first off, let's talk about the oil spill. Obviously, a big story down in the Gulf of Mexico. The Alabama Gulf Coast getting hit hard this weekend across portions like Orange Beach and Gulf Shores. Well, this is where the oil is from NOAA. The estimates of where this stuff is. You see the gray shading there. That's where we're expecting the oil to be, and it's along the Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida coastline. And looking at the wind direction over the next few days, it's going to continue to be that south and southwest wind. So this stuff, unfortunately, is going to continue to track towards the coast. Now, talking about the Atlantic hurricane season anyway, the tropics are starting to heat up. We're watching this one area. You see the spin in the atmosphere down here just over the central and southern Atlantic. Could be Tropical Storm Alex over the next few days. This thing does track off towards the west. Some of the ingredients are coming together for this thing to begin to develop and get organized, and we'll keep an eye on it. Obviously, it's very far from the U.S. coastline. We've got plenty of time to watch this thing, and we'll let you know the latest on that system as it does continue to develop. Temperatures today very hot, 97 for a high temperature in Tuscaloosa, 99 down the state capital, and yeah, check that out. Dothan, 100 degrees this afternoon. I checked at one point in Tuscaloosa, the heat index was 106 degrees. That is what it feels like to your skin. You factor in the moisture, yeah, hot stuff today, and no rain to talk about. Home Team Interactive Radar dry across all of central Alabama, so we're not seeing any thunderstorms to at least relieve us from all this heat out there at the evening hours. It is 9:34. You see the clock at the top of your screen. There were a couple isolated storms today. Most of those have now diminished, and the better coverage of showers and storms was over northern Mississippi. Now, tomorrow we'll see more thunderstorms in the forecast, at least a better chance. We're talking a 30% chance of seeing some thunderstorms. Temperatures very hot, starting off at 71 at 7 in the morning, 92 by noon, and 95 at afternoon high by 4 p.m. And again, a few thunderstorms are possible. If you get underneath one of these storms, it will cool you off just a bit. We're not the only ones baking in the heat. Check out the southern half of the U.S. It is very warm. 9 o'clock observations. Dallas at 88 degrees, Amarillo 81, El Paso 86. The cooler temperatures going to stay well to the north. This big ridge of high pressure giving us the hot stuff in the forecast across a good chunk of the south, and that continues to be the case. In fact, around the outer periphery of this ridge, we call this the Ring of Fire. You see the thunderstorm development across the portions of the Central Plains. They're having an ordeal with some severe weather happening across the Central Plains. It's been day after day, and this continues to be the case. As this ridge stays in place, it's going to block that storm track from making it into the southeast. So that's good news, at least in terms we're not going to deal with severe weather. But the bad news is the heat is on, so we're talking temperatures again in the mid-90s for the next few days. And as this ridge does back down just enough, we'll get some cooler temperatures aloft, and what that's going to do is introduce a few more clouds around, also a few scattered afternoon thunderstorms. Temperatures in the mid-90s again, but you factor in the moisture, what it feels like to your skin, the heat index value will be over 100 degrees. Tonight we're dealing with lows close to 71, muggy conditions, clear skies, that wind calm. The air mass is stagnant right now. That west wind tomorrow at 3 to 6 not going to help us out very much. 95 for a high temperature. Again, some afternoon storms are possible. Rain chances only about a 30% chance all the way through next weekend. A very consistent forecast. Highs close to 95 degrees all the way through the next 7 days. Lows in the lower 70s.